If you don't have a goal, you're never going to get there. Okay. So you need to set that goal and at least start to work towards it. If you look at it right now, the market's down today right now because of the amount of uncertainty, and there's a lot of concern that investors and institutional investors will be doing that before year end. I've had clients, unfortunately, that have passed away, so you need to make sure that you go through your life insurance again. You need to make sure that you have disability insurance because you're more likely to get disabled than you are to die. Unfortunately, 90% of all families that fill out the forms fill it out improperly. And by filling out the forms improperly, you can be losing hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands of dollars on an annual basis. And there's a lot of stocks or mutual funds that you can go and buy, and you can get 20% tax credits back on those as well. So it's a great way to go. At 70 and a half, you have to start taking money out. It can be 3%, and it goes up to 10% a year, where you have to pay a 50% fine on it. But neat idea that's here that I think we've got here on this is if you take out the money early for charitable reasons, you don't have to pay tax on it, so you have more that you can give away. It will help you from an estate tax perspective, and it doesn't count as part of your charitable deductions on an annual basis. And my biggest piece of advice, with taxes going higher next year, start your planning now and sit down with your advisor at the beginning of the year to get the maximum amount of savings in 2013. Deduction means you get 10, 20 cents back on every dollar you spent. A credit is if you spent $1, you get a full dollar back.
Dollar for dollar. Nothing better than that.
Two different credits that are out there for this. One, for undergraduates, there's $2,500 a year. So the government's giving you $2,500 if you're an undergraduate student. So make sure if you have a college student that you get that $2,500 back. I had a client recently that passed away, but they had a good life insurance policy, so their kids were able to go to the schools that they wanted to go to. Saving for college, you need to start sooner than later on that. I mean, costs are expensive now. They're growing at roughly 8 to 10% a year right now. You've got to have some money in the bank account, right? And so from that to buying a first house, or if you're retiring, going into a new house, retirement savings. It's always a big one that everybody needs to look at.
Not all colleges and universities are equal in how they award financial aid. So today we're learning how to find the schools offering the most money and how you can get it. Cliff Morgan is the founder of U.S. College Planning. Thank you so much for being here. I'm sure lots of ears perked up with our viewers, because I find it so interesting that you say the colleges don't necessarily say there's financial aid out there. You really have to dig if it's a school you want to go to.
The colleges want to give you just the dollar that you're willing to be able to take, and not a dollar more. So they would rather you pay as little as possible so that they can keep the most in reserves to be able to grow their endowments or to be able to pay other bills or to do other things.
But the reality is the numbers are pretty staggering in terms of the number of people who actually get financial aid as long as they're pushing for it.
79.5% of all families that apply for financial aid receive some level of help. And that level of help that they can get, national average on that is around $12,000 of help on an annual basis.
And we were talking in the break about not counting yourself out. So many people think, oh, I make too much money, I actually will not be able to get help. But you're saying that's not the case.
We were talking about a client who makes a very strong six-figure income, over $250,000 a year. And we just got back all their award letters. One college is going to give them $18,000 a year off the college bill. That's over $72,000 over the 4 years. And another school is giving them $14,000 a year off the college bill. Huge numbers for somebody that most people would look at and say, there's no way you're going to get any help. And they're saving tens of thousands of dollars off the college bill because they took the time, asked the right questions, and they're going to get a lot of money in savings.
And just think if they had tossed up their hands. And I think the other big mistake that people make is they wait. I've often heard parents say, oh, my child's only a sophomore, my child's only a junior. We don't have to worry about those applications until senior year. But you do.
Well, this family that went through and they were making a very healthy income received all that money because they started a few years early. But families that start last minute, they're normally only saving a little bit of money. So the effort you put in on the front side really determines the amount that you're able to receive on the back side of it there. So families that are making that much are receiving help. So families that are making less can save and make traditionally a lot more than that.
So, and when it comes to, say, the grants that you don't have to pay back, is it a first come, first serve? I mean, is that another reason why we want to start so early?
Yeah. You want to submit the financial aid forms and the private school forms, the CSS profile forms, as close to January 1 as you can, because it is a first come, first serve basis. So those people that are last-minute filers, like being April 15th for taxes, they're going to get less. But those that are in the front of the line with their hand out like this are traditionally going to get more. So filling it out in the beginning of January, February timeframe is going to get you the most money.
Well, I've got a sophomore now, but actually my incoming freshman said to me, well, you're going to have 3 of us in school. You're going to be paying more than $100,000 a year in tuition. Do you make enough, Mom? And I said, you know what? You need to help me, honey. And you say that really it is important what the children do throughout their school career. That could be important and critical for them getting some kind of money from a school.
Building their resume out, getting the right letters of recommendations, going and visiting the schools early, having the conversations with people on the campuses. That's what this family we were talking about did ahead of time. Because they did their research, the family's now going to be able to afford to be able to go to the school that they want to at a cost that's very reasonable for them, because the family, the parents did their work ahead of time and the students did their work ahead of time, properly positioned themselves so the school looked at it and said, you're the ideal student that we'd like. You're accepted, and here's the aid package that you're going to get. Here's the free money that you'll receive.
Because it's not just a matter of them being accepted, but a matter of them seeming like an asset to the school. When the school looks at one student versus another, they say, this one is going to be an asset to me, and then they're willing to give some of their assets.
Yeah, not to sound too technical, but the schools use a mathematical algorithm to determine the value that the student has to the school. The higher the value the student has to the school, the more money they're willing to give, the more free money you get, the less that the parents would have to pay out of pocket.
Okay, so we all need to get on it right now with your help. Thank you so much. If you want to find out more information and to register for future free seminars, you can visit uscollegeplanning.com, or we'll link you right there from our website, WGNTV.com/midday.